This week on 15th March, we have 4 webinars lined up for you. Morning 10 a.m., we have Once Upon a Portfolio, Lessons from Behavioral Investing Part 3. By 11 a.m., we have Magic Pill, the extraordinary benefit and disturbing risk of new weight loss drugs. By 11 a.m., we also have Understanding Health Insurance, a beginner's guide. At last, we have the Corporate India Q3 2024-2025 result update. Join us in this webinar. Spend your weekends gaining some knowledge.
We continue with our discussion from being middle class to becoming rich. And in this video, we are going to talk about supporting adults, children. That's an oxymoron. But still, your children grow up and become adults. How do you support them when they are adults? I'll just share a short personal experience. Financially, once I became a graduate and an adult, once I finished my studies, the support stopped, abrupt. That was the one reason why I think I looked at stock market as an opportunity, because I felt that in the stock market I could make money to support myself. Otherwise, chances are I would have never become an investor. I would think the chances are extremely low, because I had no inkling or fascination or prior inclination towards investing. But the need to support oneself is what made me think about stock market as an avenue. Suppose they were giving me sumptuous or adequate pocket money, I probably would not have had that pressure. The fact that I needed those few thousands to run my life forced me to look at the stock market, because the salary families pay to their children when they join the family business would be very little. It's not enough to sustain the same social life which you sustained
as
a supported dependent, correct. But different people have different approaches. Today I see people who were professionals giving graduates pocket money while they decide what to do next. There is no sense of urgency when this happens. Whereas for me, if I had to go out regularly with my friends to movies, if I needed to shop, if I need to buy shoes, then there was no mobile phone, so it saved one big expense. Or if I need to travel, like we have come to places like these and stayed in hostels and stuff like that. So you needed to earn money and you need to pull up. And another thing, not all your friends are working. So you not only have to earn for yourself, you support your friends because you want the same group. You don't want to leave somebody out because they are not earning money. So the pressure was extreme and you could not rely on your family. Today it's not like that. Many people support graduates and their friends to go on vacation. You know how it works, right? So this topic still is something that will always fascinate because these conversations keep coming back again and again. When my son finished his graduation, he himself decided not to take any more money from us. It's his choice. We didn't actually have to make this conversation. And honestly, I never told what I have told you now about what happened to me. It just organically happened. So this self-reliance of an adult is something that I see as very, very important, Subra. It's supremely important because that's what decides what the adult becomes. Parents, out of their excessive love and protective tendencies, ignore this point. It's largely because they are blinded. What are your thoughts on supporting your kids after they become adult and after they complete education? Because till they complete education, I think we should support them.
There is absolutely no doubt whether we should support them before they start earning. There is no doubt, obviously. And if your kid is only going to do graduation, could be 21. But if your kid is going to do MBBS, MS, MD, it could be 31.
Correct.
There is no doubt till then you have to support. After that, they'll start earning and then they will be on their own. So this is fine. But till a kid starts earning, and some professions would take time to earn. So explaining to the kid that it is going to take you time. Maybe you'll start earning, a doctor could start earning at 35 and maybe even is married at 30. So he or she needs support even during the which means you're supporting not only your son but also your daughter-in-law till that age, because you can afford that your kid doesn't earn till then. You have to financially support a kid who is in academics. So, but after academics, when the kid starts earning, and then there is a choice. Why I am saying there is a choice is it is your money, you are going to spend it on them. So I know business families which make rules saying every year the business or the parent will pay for one international vacation, which is completely sponsored by the parent. But other than that, whatever else you have to do, you have to be on your own. I know my friends in the US who tell their kids, you're going out of the house, typically like an American kid, maybe at the age of 20 or 21, that's fine. Wherever you are, whenever you are, you can come back to us if you have a problem. You don't have to do a job which you don't like or things like that. Your term insurance, your car insurance, I'll pay. If you come back and stay with us and you can't pay rent, that's fine. But you have to do some work. You are now not a privileged 10-year-old where I will do all the work and support you. Now you are 24. I will support you financially, no doubt. I don't want you to be on the streets. You will get good food. You will get everything. You get your room back. But you have to pull in. You have to clean the snow, you have to clean the car, you have to run errands, all that, because you can't help me financially. You need to take a 2-3 month break, I will support you. I'll pay for your term insurance, medical insurance, car insurance, etc. Because if you are in trouble, it is my responsibility. So I will support you for medical causes unconditionally. And at 34, if you want to take a break and study and you don't have enough money, I'll support you. So some of these conditionalities can happen, and I don't think there is one size fits all. If you see your kid is responsible, doing well and all that, you support. If you think your kid is exploiting you by, I know a 28-year-old who has not started earning. He's done MBA, he has done ACS, and then he's done something in, that's not on, right? But you know your kid. So I don't think you need to make rules. However, business families with 3-4 brothers having 8-9 kids totally, they make rules. What we will support, what we will not support. If you are an individual with 1 or 2 kids, you don't need to make rules.
Compare this with the West, where children don't stay with their parents after they study. They're forced to go out.
Destroyed the family. Look at UK. They've destroyed the family. I don't want my kids staying far away from me if they're in the same city. It's their choice. It's not my choice. It's their choice. If they want to stay separately, that's fine. But they've destroyed the family. The family doesn't even get back together except for Christmas or things like that. I wouldn't want to do that. I need them more than they needing me. So it's not just about money, right? It's also about bonding. So I wouldn't be as harsh to say you're 18, now go on your own. You can't study.
But children do say that I won't want to be living around you after I become, let's say, 22, 23. They keep saying that.
It's their choice. It's their choice. It's not my choice. I will not say get out of my house because you're 22. Get out of my house because you're earning 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs.
No, let me flip it. You're an Indian, you won't say get out. But what if you say don't get out?
No, I won't say that also.
Okay.
It's their choice, because it's always better, especially if it's your daughter, to go and live on her own. Because if she stays with you, you'll comment on everything. Why are you coloring your hair? Why is your skirt short? Why are you coming at 2 a.m.? If you see them, you will comment. If they're far away, you believe they're good. If they're in trouble, they'll call you. I prefer that. But it doesn't mean I will push them for it. I mean, if my daughter says, by saving all this money, I can make a trip to Europe, that's a choice which she has made. I have enough space in my house. She can stay there. If she doesn't want to stay there, that's also her option. If she wants to stay in a different city because she's working there, that's her option. The option should be with the kids. And by the time the kid is 21, 22, you know whether the kid is responsible. If the kid is not responsible, you want to put financial conditions, all that. Otherwise, I'm fine with what works.
Eventually, whatever wealth you create, you are going to transfer a significant part of it as legacy.
Correct.
Now, the question before a lot of people is, when should this be done? I'll give you more background. Where the parent feels that responsibility should come early, a good part of it gets transferred early. But most people hold on, and some people hold on for too long. So you have three stages.
Correct.
Some give it too early, some give it in reasonable time, some people give it too late. Now, what is the use of an 85-year-old father giving his 60-year-old son or daughter a lot of money? What will that 60-year-old do with that money?
True.
And what is the quality of experience or life he is going to get using that money at 60? This is a fundamental question. In my opinion, a lot of people call in their son or daughter only when they think death is near. That's all that creates that sense of urgency. And even then, it's not decisive. It's to test the waters. So I see a lot of such transitions even to this day. And most parents who don't give money early have a perception that my son is not as responsible as I am. He should become more responsible and then I will give him. And that point of satisfaction or assurance that the son or daughter is responsible enough never seems to come to them. This is another thing I have seen. I'll give you a third scenario. I've given you two scenarios. There's a third scenario where people say, oh, well, let them have everything, and they give everything. And then they realize that they are not prepared them for this. And the way they're handling it is not to their liking. They can't even go and take back anything. So they suffer in silence. So this transition is always a tricky subject.
True.
I believe that one has to have an approach and a well thought through strategy to transition. Legacy is something that should be handled before it is enjoyed. Let's say you have a portfolio. You need not give your portfolio to your daughter, but she can be a decision maker for a long time before you give. Where people are making a mistake, in my opinion, is they keep them out of both enjoyment and management. When you keep them out of enjoyment and management, they neither learn to manage nor to enjoy correctly. That balance between enjoyment and management of legacy is the art of life.
Correct.
There is nothing bigger than that.
Correct.
But the control freaks that Indians are, or the people who let go, let it be types. Either you're a control freak or let it be. The let it be guys give everything, oh, chalo, kuch bhi, do whatever you like. The control freaks never even let go of management. So I've seen people call 30, 40, 50-year-old son or daughter and ask them to only sign the income tax return. That's all. DMAT is also run by the parent, please understand. Only once a year, one signature, IT return. This is the role played by the son or daughter in management. Where do we draw this line?
Okay. There are 2-3 things. One, if it's a single kid, then everything is going to the kid. How you divide doesn't matter. If there are 3 kids, you may do 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, but it is also possible that you do it differently. Let's say you spent a big amount of money on one son's education, and one daughter's education you have not spent much money, another son has not has done say CA, so it will not require much money from you, in fact nothing. So while dividing the estate, you say no, I spent 2 crores on his education abroad, so out of the 10 crores that I have, which I can give as, or 9 crores that I have, which I can give as 333, I'm going to give only 1 to one boy because I've already spent 2 on him, and the others are I'm going to give more, right? So you can do that, because giving, are you giving a loan or are you giving a gift? If you're giving a loan, then it's fine, it's going to come back. And there also I would prefer there be an agreement, because that is useful even for income tax. I have given my son a 10 lakh rupee loan at 5% interest per annum or 3% interest per annum or interest free. Better to be written down so that the other kids know. Sometimes one kid who is taking a loan does not want the other kids to know. Then you document it and keep it. Don't tell the other kids, but you have given an advice. That kid wants to buy a house. If you don't give the kid money at the kids buying a house, their kids' education, or at their wedding, what is the use? Like you said, what will a 65-year-old do inheriting from a 95-year-old parent? He's finished all his life, and after that he is going to say, now I will wait till 95 to give it to my kids.
Yeah,
It
that
makes
is
no
a
sense.
ridiculous thing.
It is just transferring from one demat account to another demat account, and so that does not make sense. So this, and second, to say I will pay for all your basic needs in a worst case scenario, I'll spend on these things, I'll give these things. I have seen one parent, one grandparent tell all his grandchildren, you will go to the best college that your marks can buy, but the fees will be paid by me. And I liked it, and he said, you know, why I am paying for their education. For the rest of their life, they'll say, my grandfather paid for my education, not my father. They'll remember me till they die. That is why I'm paying.
That is narcissism.
No, he's saying that is why I'm paying. So he said, I don't want the parent to think of an educational loan or anything.
Okay.
Let these kids study whatever they want to study without the pressure of an educational loan. He says, I will not pay for your vacations, but for all your education, hostels.
Fees, tuition.
So if you want to go to Harvard and spend 2 crores, fine. You want to go to IIM Ahmedabad and spend 25 lakhs, fine. That is a gift. It is not a loan, you are not repaying, I am going to give. And that is not part of my will. My will, I will give to my children whenever I want to, but your education I will pay. This makes sense. So the responsible kid says, okay, I don't have to take a loan or anything, my grandfather is going to pay. So this is a good way to give. Or say, okay, daughter's wedding, the total cost, I will pay 10 lakhs for each kid's wedding, because you have the money. Or you say whatever you choose. In such cases, I ask the grandparent, what if the kid doesn't get married? It's a penalty on the kid for not getting married. You cannot stop. He said, that I'll think. Then, if I'm not paid for the marriage and the kid has not got married, I'll give it when the kid is 40. When the grandkid is 40 or something like that, he'll put it in his will. So he has a very detailed will in all this. But he says, if my son wants money or if my daughter wants money to buy a house, I will not give it a secret loan. I will give a loan, I will let everybody know, and I will adjust it in the will. Because I don't want my children to feel I loved her more or loved him more. I love my children equally, I'll distribute my wealth equally. There's another problem. Problem is, if there are 3 children, the father has died, the mother is holding all the money, mother is 80 plus, and there are 3 kids in the family, one doing extremely well, and very well, does not need the money. The second doing well. Third, not doing so well, has some cancer, and her husband has cancer or she has cancer, her ability to earn has gone down. That kid needs the money, the other 2 don't need the money. And who is managing? It is the eldest kid. He does not need the money. So I know one case where the elder brother told the younger sister that, do you want help? Do you want me to give money? She said no. So she said she does not want help. I said, do you know that she wants help? He said yes. I said, the way you offered it is wrong. You can't ask, do you want help?
Can I give you?
People don't want help. So he said, what should I do? You should say, Amma's portfolio is 14 crores. Amma is 85, or she's 85, 86. She does not need 14 crores. Out of that 14 crores, 4 crores or 3 crores I am distributing. I am going to take 1. The younger brother is going to take 1. Your share is 1. Where should I transfer it? This is easier to handle. So, you can't make rules saying what should happen. And he was so happy that she took that 1 crore. I said that she felt was her money coming to her. You were giving her help. You could help her. You could also give her 1 crore. She didn't need it. She needed maybe 20-25 lakhs to improve her standard of living, pay for the medical bills. He stood by her, went to the hospital, supported her, sent his car and driver to pick up. All that he did. But money she didn't take from him. She took equivalent maybe 10 lakhs of support, but she did not take money. But when this money came, she was very happy. Right? So I think it's about financial communication and then deciding what to do, because you can't have one rule. Now a kid who's gone astray but comes back, you want to still support. You cannot say, no, go hang. Yes, he made mistakes. Yes, she made mistakes. Whatever it is, you'll still support. You can't tell the other kids, because I'm supporting this kid, I will give you also. This is a special case. A kid who's got into a bad marriage. The husband is beating. So you say, no, come back, I'll support you. So I don't think these are rules which can be made. Broad rules should be made.
Subra, on this point also, when you support a kid who has not had a good experience in life, there is a tendency in the other person to say, I didn't screw up and I'm being punished for that. So that sense of fairness has to be maintained while you do all these things.
No, not really. You can't have capitalism at home. At home it is socialism. You will give the kid what the kid needs. It is not what the kid deserves. In the real life, the kid is getting what he or she deserves. What happens if the kid is not as smart as the other kids? What happens if one kid is brilliant, earns very well, the other kid is little challenged? You know, you can't say you are challenged.
So you are saying that the parent who supports a weaker child is perfectly all right.
Perfectly all right, because he's a weaker kid. Something happened, the kid is weak. You will support, you have to support, you don't have a choice. You can sit with the, in fact there is a beautiful case where the father wanted to give all the money to the daughter because the son was earning extremely well. And he wanted to give the money to the daughter because she had made a mistake of marrying wrong and all that. Whatever. So father said, I'm going to give all my money to the daughter. And I smiled. So he said, why are you smiling? I said, it's the biggest mistake you can make, because you are absolving your son of all responsibility towards his younger sister. So he said, what should I do? I said, give all the money to the son and tell the son to look after the daughter.
That is again another very interesting take on that.
You have to, because you know that the daughter and son-in-law are not capable of handling a 4 crore portfolio. 4 crore is enough for them for the rest of their life, but they can't handle. So
we are seeing a lot of cases of how these adult dynamics comes into play in wealth. We started actually on the note of whether you should support your children or not support them, when you should support them. Should it be too soon, in the middle years, or too late? What you should not do, stuff like that. That's what we started. But we are coming to a place where your children support each other and how you can be a facilitator. You have actually taken the discussion to a different place. But it's an interesting place because I think there is a need for people to stand by each other, because in the era of nuclear families, families have stopped engaging adequately.
Especially about money.
Even in general.
No, they may still meet, go for a vacation, but they don't talk financially. The sister doesn't go to the brother and say, I need financial help. She's too ashamed to ask for help. You have to have the ability to find the need and help in such a way that they accept it.
Subha, this is true of even asking parents. Today,
Correct.
They are very hesitant to ask parents for financial help.
Correct.
Okay, sometimes this also leads to dynamics within the nuclear family of the children, because their wives or spouses expect them to ask, but they don't ask. And that is questioned, why can't you ask? What is he or she doing with all the money? So these are all areas where some amount of lubrication will actually smoothen things out, and wheels of life will move better.
Actually, I hope videos like this, more and more people share, or at least share the content, read it, understand it, or watch it, understand it and talk about it, even if they don't share the video. But sometimes it's embarrassing for them, so it's easier for them to share the video. Take a case where there are 4 children, 2 are abroad, doing well, 1 is in India, doing well, the 4th kid is not doing so well. And there is a house, property worth 10 crores, which can be sold for say 9.5 crores. That kid wants it now because that kid doesn't, that 4th kid is married, not doing very well, doesn't have children. He has no point in inheriting it at 70, because what will he do? He wants it when he's 55 and improve his standard of living, and he knows it's going to come to him. The other 3 don't need it. So
there's no sense of urgency.
No sense of urgency. Parents have died. This is the parental wealth. So when will you divide it? When the eldest son is dead, when the 3rd son is, when will you divide it?
I would think the ideal thing to do here is the parents divided in their lifetime. If they did not, after the passing of first parent itself, it should be done. The second parent should take the responsibility. Even if both parents fail, I think immediately after the demise of both parents, they should sit down and complete it. You should not leave it to the next generation. Never.
I agree. And I'll end by talking about one, this is 56, 57-year-old, doing very well, maybe he has 100 crores kind of net worth. So he told me this story. He was about 27 when he needed some financial help. So he went and asked his father for financial help. When he overheard his conversation, mother telling the father, saying, 27, he needs help from you, you should not give it. And the father said, at 27, if he's coming and asking me, he spent days agonizing asking. I must help him.
That's a totally different perspective, and that's the right way to look at it. And that's been a wonderful conversation on a very sensitive topic. And I think we have touched a lot of sensitive points, a lot of contentious areas, and still spoken about it and spoken our mind openly. Thank you very much for this wonderful
No, I would
conversation.
just add, like I said earlier, people should watch this video, share it with their family, and make sure that they talk about their family's money when they are all alive. Because after the parents die, the kids don't know how to divide it, and all those things. So parents, when they're alive, should talk about their money, include all this in the will, because after you die, nobody knows how you wanted it. So make your will, make sure all this is spoken about with
And
your
the
adult
conversation is also
children.
recorded in the will, you're saying.
Yeah, record as much, no, or make two things. Make one will and make another statement, because you don't want a will to become too big. You don't want the whole world to know.
Fine.
But my thoughts on finance and how it should be divided, make it a separate one and make a separate will. This
Handwritten
makes sense.
document.
Handwritten document.
So they cannot dispute whether you wrote it or not.
Yeah. Sit in their presence, write it, video record it, give 4 copies.
Fabulous.
Perfectly right.
Thank you, Subra, for this wonderful conversation. It was fun doing it, and it was very, very stimulating and very, very deep. Thank you.
Thank you.